So anytime Apple or Blackmagic come out with something new, usually within about 3 or 4 hours, I have a video up. And at this point, I've gotten dozens, if not hundreds of comments claiming that the videos are pre-made and it's just a typical embargo video. But for update and news videos like that, it's not the case. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how I do it and give you tips so you can make better videos faster. This video is sponsored by Motion VFX. Their packs have been essential in my efficient video making process. And later in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can utilize Motion VFX to elevate your titles, graphics, transition, LUTs. Let's get into it. So first up, we have the prep. So sometimes we know events are coming up. So even though I can't have a video pre-made because I don't know what the event is actually going to entail, but take something like WWDC. We get the date roughly a month or so in advance, and so on that day, I basically just tell Michelle and I put on the schedule that, hey, I need to watch this event and then probably immediately going to make a video. And so I just need to have that time kind of blocked off so I don't schedule anything else. However, then you have companies like Blackmagic who love to release updates, news at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because they're an Australian company. And so a lot of times I'm lying there about to fall asleep and then ding. And in that moment, I just turn over to Michelle and say, Blackmagic just came out with an update. And she just goes, bye. Let me just say two of the reasons why I do this. These types of videos have dramatically changed my business in terms of YouTube creation. I love spending weeks on a video, refining every detail, the artistic creation of it. But see, those videos can be hit or misses. Still to this day, probably my most proud video, and probably 100 hours creating, is my lowest performing video ever. Please, after this video, if you want to spike it up, go watch it in the link in the description. But when I do these fast turnaround news videos, I view it as the equivalent to if your friend was calling you at 3 a.m. saying, oh my God, did you see the news? This just came out and this was updated and this has new features. Like, I just want to be an excited friend with you. And thankfully, you guys are awesome and always comment like, oh my gosh, this was awesome. I just saw this pop up. And I can't tell you how much that means to me. So getting back to prep, I do my best to ingest as much information as I can. If there's multiple sources, I'm reading, I'm watching. If it's like a camera update, I do the update, I play around with it a little bit, do some quick tests, get myself to the point where I'm comfortable turning on the camera and hitting record. Now, when it comes to recording and moving on to production, this part is crucial. Having everything already set up. So this camera, this mic, this light, this table, my sound dampening, all that stuff is pretty much always set up so that when one of these moments happen and I run down here, all I need to do is turn everything on real quick and I can be recording in about 30 seconds. I used to have to constantly change my set, bring out the tripod each time, find the right height, turn on the mic, find it, rig everything. I lost an hour, hour and a half trying to set up from scratch every time I made a video. And again, if you're doing something really creative, absolutely take the time. But if you want to get into more kind of quick, rapid fire reactions, news, update type videos, it's crucial that your setup is ready to go when you are. Once I start talking to the camera, to be honest, I never really script videos anyway. I usually try to make sense of it in the edit. And so I'll either ramble on for about 30 minutes and then just cut it down later, or at most I'll write out a couple bullet points of the features and updates that I want to make sure I don't miss. So now we're on to post-production. I bring all the footage over to the computer, import everything into DaVinci Resolve. Now, another tip here, and this is going to make Josh Yeo and other filmmakers angry, is most of the time when you're doing a big film or just a bigger project, you're going to have a very tight folder structure. With videos like this, I throw that all out the window. Usually I'll make one folder, like you can see here, the title of the video. I threw in the A-roll, and then I may make one for assets. And because this specific video is going to have quite a bit of B-roll, I'll keep that separately as well. But that's as intense as it gets. And then, like I said, I'm going to go around finding my assets. And in this case, I know I want to be showing off some Motion VFX, so I'm going to be heading over to their channel. For example, I love the M storytelling pack, so I'm going to go to their video on that. And they have this 15-minute video that basically is a deep dive into a tutorial on how to use it. So I may want to take a couple clips from here. So I'm going to hit the Downie button that I have up in Safari. I can see Downie open up. And once I do this to a bunch of different assets, I'm going to bring that into here. And again, I'm just going to create a couple basic bins. So we'll do assets, we'll do B-roll, it ends up getting pretty sloppy. Music just kind of gets thrown everywhere, but organization is not the key to these videos. You go from start to finish in 3 or 4 hours. There's not much you have to come back and remember, and usually I'm just going to delete the projects afterwards anyway. So now I have my A-roll in here. Before I cut it down, I hop over to my power grade section here where I have a power grade pre-saved. This one right here. Apply it, looks dandy. Applied a little bit of voice isolation. I've got male VO dialogue processor and a little bit of EQ adjustments. And now it's time to cut down the A-roll, and thanks to the power of editing, you don't have to sit here for that. So it's definitely not a few days later. I got the A-roll cut down, and now it's time to add in all of those B-roll assets and everything else. But of course, we also have titles, transitions, and effects. And for this, we use today's sponsor, Motion VFX. Now, Motion VFX is a platform I have been using for literally years since they came out for Final Cut. Obviously, there are loads of places that you can find assets, but none like this, and let me tell you why. Not only do they have a huge, expansive library for now DaVinci Resolve, but of course we have Final Cut. We even have some Adobe Premiere and After Effects plugins and templates. But one of the things that makes them so unique, besides their beautifully, incredibly designed packs here, is that when you go to install them on your computer, rather than having to like find your source folders and put them in the right place, and if those break or get updated, you need to like delete those files and replace them, we have the 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙, which not only shows us our entire library, but we can also check out new stuff in here. There's even a try it now section, which will give you like a couple demos or 2-week trial on some of these different tools. If I go back to my products here, I can see that I've installed these. If I get a second computer, I can actually install them on up to 2 devices. If you need to deactivate them from one device. If one of your packs seems to be like glitching out or just having issues with it, you can go under that pack and hit reinstall or repair, and this will replace all the necessary folders. You can uninstall it. If they come out with an update for one of the packs, maybe adding in new features or fixing something, you would just see an update button, click it, and it's instantly installed and updated. When I was starting out, I spent years finding random packs from all over the internet, and so many of them not only would have issues with themselves, but actually slow down the editing software you were using because they weren't well optimized. With Motion VFX, I can hover over any of these transitions. If I go into any of these beautifully crafted styles and just scan over, you can see everything is just smooth. One of my favorite packs recently has been the M Review. And what's awesome is everything is drag and drop, but everything is incredibly customizable. So as soon as I drop this over top here, I can turn on the 4K quality. You can adjust sizing, content scale, rotation, and of course go into the title controls to change it to the actual thing we want. But of course I only want the glowing color gradient on Motion VFX, so I can just change the right on perspective to that. I can go in and adjust any of the colors and fonts that I want. And again, even on a 4K timeline, I can play these back smoothly without any issue with color graded 6K clips in the background. I'm not an animator or a motion graphics artist by any stretch of the imagination. So for me, having all these different Motion VFX packs that you can see in my effects panel over here have been life-changing. And obviously you've been seeing graphics and transitions throughout this video because this is the video that I'm editing. And so hopefully you've been seeing good examples of what you can do with Motion VFX. Sometimes the only thing that slows me down about Motion VFX is there's so many good options that I can take too long just sitting here being like, what title do I want to use? But that's where the star feature in DaVinci Resolve comes in handy, and I can select that and everything instantly pops into my favorites panel at the bottom for quick access. So if you're someone who uses a lot of the same assets over and over, using things like the favorites in the effects panels or power bins up in your bin space here for reusable assets is a great way to speed up your workflow. And have I even mentioned that they also have 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙 for the iPad? So if you're a DaVinci Resolve for iPad user, you can get pretty much all of the same packs that you would for DaVinci Resolve to work in the iPad version of Resolve as well. They have it clearly listed as to what packs work and what effects and titles within each pack, because DaVinci Resolve for the iPad doesn't have all of the same like fusion and 3D features that some of the packs require. But if we look right here, you can see I haven't downloaded the last 3 packs I just got. that I had on my Mac, so I can just hit download. And just like that, if I now go into DaVinci Resolve, if I go into my title section, I can see all of my different motion VFX titles right here. And just like anything else, I can drag it down to my timeline, scrub through it, turn on the inspector, and have all my same title controls that I have on my computer. So when I'm trying to make videos fast, motion VFX on the go or on my home main desk setup is my preferred way to elevate the videos with graphics, titles, LUTs, transitions, all that good stuff. I'm sure those last couple minutes have just been sounding like an ad, but truly before I ever partnered with Motion VFX, I've been using their product for years. I was one of the first people to beg them to start making DaVinci Resolve stuff in Motion VFX. I still have that tweet that said, I don't think we're gonna jump into Resolve right now. But luckily for us, they changed their mind and now they have packs for all of the major NLEs. Definitely give them some love and check them out in the link in the description. So now all that's left to do is export your video, upload it, create an awesome thumbnail, or now awesome 3 thumbnails now that everyone is ABC testing. And the tip there is to definitely be thinking about your title and thumbnail earlier in the process. Don't just wait until this moment when you're uploading it to have that ready to go. Because one, you're going to end up wasting that much more time when a video is ready to go, but you don't have a good title and thumbnail. The earlier in the process that you have your title and thumbnail, even before you start recording, allows you to then shape the video around that package. And that's going to allow that video to do that much better because what people end up clicking on, they will actually feel and get in your video. If you guys have any follow-up questions, let me know down in the comments below and I'll get in there and answer as many as I can. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.